Are you angry and grieving over the cutoff between you and your adult child? In this video, you're going to learn 3 tips, and we're going to talk about anger. Hi, I'm Marie Morin. I'm a therapist and a wellness coach. Let's get started. The loss of an adult child can feel like an assault. You can feel heartbroken, torn apart, crushed. Your feelings are not wrong. Your feelings are just strong right now. When there's loss of an adult child, sometimes, and a lot of times, behind anger are feelings of fear and sadness. You might be thinking, well, what will happen with this relationship? Or you may be so angry that you don't even want to see them right now. But let's step back a minute and look at what anger is really about, okay? So if you're feeling all of this emotional heightened intensity, you may be experiencing physical sensations like your heart racing, or maybe even your breathing rate has increased. That's your body telling you you're angry. And along with that, with the feelings behind it, one of the things, if you are wanting to at some point reconcile with your child, is to be able to manage what you do with your feelings right now, today. So we're going to go through 3 tips on how to take care of that. So as you know, grief is the experience that we have when there's a loss, and estrangement is a huge loss. Differing from when someone dies, it's something that is ambiguous. You have no idea of when this is going to end. And that makes it even more anxiety provoking because you have no idea of how this thing will go. The stages of grief are denial, bargaining, anger, depression, and acceptance. So before we can get to acceptance, we have to do a few things. If you're in the early stages of this estrangement condition with your adult child, this may be all very new to you and you're having a lot of strong emotions. So what do? The first thing you do is you think about that anger is a normal emotion. It's going to arise. What do we do with it? We have to take time to process it. I call them emotional visits. You take a compassionate look at yourself. You spend time allowing yourself to feel the feeling. Yes, you're angry. You might want to write about it. What are you angry about? What did they do that has made you so angry? Is it because they disrespected you by not calling you? Are they ghosting you? Have they done a no contact? Do they not respond? If you're really angry about these things, write about them. Discuss them. Writing in a handwritten journal is an excellent exercise to let yourself flow out these feelings. Don't worry about anything else. Just let it flow. Take a few minutes, take as long as you need. Once you feel a type of release, whatever it is, if you cry, if you have to bang on a pillow, whatever, then stop. Do something different, then decide to go back to it on another day. The idea is to let yourself feel. The second thing that you want to do is to get support. So find a friend, someone that you know loves and values you, or a group of women that love and value you, or men, whatever the situation is, and be around them and talk to them. You want someone that can be neutral, that can listen, or a therapist, someone where you can ventilate what you're feeling and there's not going to be any judgment attached to it. Being around people is one of the most important things you could do for yourself. Isolating, not such a good idea because it'll bring you into a state of depression. Okay, you might already be somewhat depressed. You want to resist the temptation to be isolated. And number 3 is to be compassionate with yourself. Estrangement is a horrible, horrible thing to happen to anyone. The idea that your child won't answer your calls or emails, or that they've said no contact, or that they don't really want to be around you can be heartbreaking. So being compassionate with yourself, what does that really mean? Treat yourself as you would a good friend. This is a really difficult time, and you want to be sure that you're not beating yourself up. It's a horrible group of emotions that can do damage to ourselves. So we want to be sure to be compassionate during this journey of grieving and being angry. But what about if you've just been going on and you've been feeling these terrible feelings? You've been feeling the anger, you've been depressed, you've been anxious, you're bargaining, maybe you're in denial and you're in and out of just being overwhelmed of what's been happening since your child has cut off. Well, we're going to talk about that in my next video about complicated grief and estrangement. You're going to want to watch that video, but don't forget to get my ebook, Feeling Heartbroken and Alone, How to Pick Up the Pieces When You're Estranged. See you in the next video.